Good morning and welcome to the 245th anniversary of the Battle of Moores Creek Bridge. I would like to thank you for joining us in hosting our annual wreath-laying ceremony, which honor those who came before us. Those citizen soldiers who took a strategic stand for freedom and independence, and those ordinary citizens who came later and made the early efforts to commemorate this battlefield and the events that took place here. My staff, volunteers, and I are honored to be caretakers of this historic site, if only for a moment in time, and are honored to share this day with you. We are here today virtually to carry on a tradition, one that has been occurring since the 1850s, when the call for preservation and commemoration came out from among the citizens of the Cape Fear region. The Grady Monument that stands today on these hallowed grounds was placed here in the 1850s, not because the National Park Service placed it here, not because the state of North Carolina placed it here, and not because the Moores Creek Battleground Association placed it here. In a call to action to honor those who came before us, much like we see today being done for our World War II veterans, who nearly 80 years ago answered the call for global freedom, those citizens of southeastern North Carolina began their own honor flights, calling on North Carolinians near and far to lift up the memory of that fading generation of patriots who gave so we could be free today. In 1857, just a few years before our country would return to war, this monument here at Moores Creek National Battlefield was placed on this historic site in honor of both the patriots who fought here and Private John Grady, who gave his life here, the first North Carolinian to lose his life for American independence. Seeing the significance of this historic site, in 1897, the state of North Carolina acquired this battlefield and turned over administrative duties to a small private group of Pender County citizens who in 1899 would charter the Moores Creek Monumental Association, today known as the Battleground Association. The state chartered the Monumental Association to improve the battleground, protect the site, and do such other things as tend to inspire among our people state and national pride and a higher appreciation of patriotic manhood. In 1926, as a result of a combined effort of the North Carolina General Assembly, the Army War College, the Monumental Association, and the Stamp Defiance chapter of the Daughters of the American Revolution, Moores Creek National Military Park was established. DAR members testifying before Congress described the battle as the South Lexington and compared Mary Slocum's ride to that of Paul Revere. Today, the National Park Service continues to commemorate and preserve for education and military study the sites and stories surrounding the Battle of Moores Creek Bridge. I am honored to serve as a caretaker of this great park, and I'm honored to stand beside you to continue preserving the memory of this battle. I would like to share with you a quote from a speech given at the first official anniversary celebration in 1857 when this monument was first placed here. Let us, my countrymen, ever hallow in our hearts the spot on which we stand. Let the monument we build on it be an altar of freedom where we may ever rekindle the expiring fires of patriotism. Thank you for joining us today and supporting your national park.
Strongly associated with the Battle of Moores Creek Bridge is the legend of Mary Slocum's ride. According to this story, Mary dreamed that Ezekiel, her patriot husband, had been wounded in a battle. After awaking, she rode a horse 65 miles at night to arrive as the Battle of Moores Creek Bridge was ending. Mary discovered that Ezekiel was safe and nursed wounded patriots before returning to her home the following night. In 1907, the Moores Creek Monumental Association established the Women's Monument in honor of Mary Slocum. On top of a tall granite base rests a marble sculpture of a young woman. She wears a loose dress reminiscent of a Greco-Roman style, and her cascading curls of hair are partially pulled back. Her arms are crossed, and she grasps in her left hand a laurel wreath, a symbol of victory and eternity. A column beneath the figure bears an inscription, and the top of the column above the inscription is adorned with a double band of oak leaves and acorn sprigs. These are a traditional mourning symbol of longevity, strength, and courage. During 1861, the United States slipped into a civil war, and places like Moores Creek Bridge were unfortunately forgotten. After the American Civil War, the park once again fell into obscurity as the sting of the war affected many in the country. In 1899, a group of local citizens in the area formed an association to maintain the park, the Patriot Monument, and the grounds on which the battle was fought. In 1913, the Moores Creek Monumental Association decided to honor their first president, James F. Moore, with a monument for his efforts in commemorating the battlefield. The tall granite obelisk serves to commemorate President Moore. The choice of an obelisk for the monument reflects the cultural fascination with ancient Egypt during the 19th century. Since its origins in ancient Egypt, the obelisk has been a symbol of reverence, dominance, and patriarchy. King George and Broadswords was the battle cry given by the Loyalists as they charged up the causeway in front of the earthworks at Moores Creek. Braving a storm of lead given by the Patriots, the Loyalists advanced 4 times to take Moores Creek Bridge and failed. These Loyalists were not only British, they were not only Highland Scots, but they were uniquely North Carolinian, fighting for what they considered to be right and just. They fought to protect their families in their new home granted to them by the King. If the Loyalists had not fought here at Moores Creek Bridge, North Carolina possibly would not have instructed its delegates to vote for independence. The MCMA felt that it was their duty to remember the Loyalists, for without their actions to protect the rightful government of this colony, the new government possibly would have never been formed. In 1909, the MCMA established the Loyalist Monument to remember the Loyalists and their story. The monument is a granite pointed column atop a base of 3-tiered steps. A polished frame in the column is inscribed and is crowned above the inscription with a bas-relief thistle. A national symbol of Scotland, the thistle refers to the Scottish Highlanders who fought as Loyalists. The thistle also represents earthly sorrows, a symbol typically found in mourning imagery.
Color guard, advance the colors.
Color guard, 10 hut. Carry colors. Port arms. To the right, face. To the front, arch. Color guard, halt. To the left, face. Present colors. Present arms.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Order, arms. To the right, face. To the front, arch. Color guard, halt. To the right, to the left.
In 1857, this monument, known as the Grady Monument or Patriot Monument, was placed here so we could remember the patriots who fought for our independence. This monument commemorates this patriot victory and honors the only patriot who died during the battle, Private John Grady of Duplin County. During the dedication ceremony in 1857, the cornerstone for the obelisk was laid into a brick foundation, which contained the reinterred remains of Grady. Sometime during that year, the obelisk, which was imported from Philadelphia, was placed on top of the cornerstone and brick foundation.